必得救，因为人心里想信，就可以成义，口里强乱，就可以得救。
Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I turned on my radio this morning. It is 7:55. I turned it on about 20 minutes ago, and I was scanning the shortwave bands. This is the Grunting 750 connected to my G5 RV antenna, and I wasn't getting much on the band, and all of a sudden I hit this station here. It appears to be in Chinese. When I first tuned it in about 10 or 15 minutes ago, it was really strong. And now it's starting to fade in and out a little bit. Let me turn it back on for a few seconds. Okay, I looked this up on the internet on short-wave.info. I did not find any frequency at 7.500 exactly. I can say it does sound almost like China radio, but I'm not sure what it is, but it's really strong. And typically early in the morning I get stations, if I get anything, from Asia, and then as the day goes on it moves over to Europe, and then late afternoon, evening, I get stations from Europe. So I believe it's from Asia. Now, where the transmitter is, I don't know. I don't even know what the station is. But one thing that prompted me to try this morning is I read an article on SWLING website, which I've mentioned many times. It's just SWLING.com. And then it's like a blog is one page, and then there's other pages. And the article was, let me see when it was posted, if it will tell me. No. A lot of these websites, they don't post, they don't tell you when something is posted. But it was a couple of days ago. And it was a response to the spaceweather.com article about the lack of sunspots and the fact that shortwave is going to be terrible, which in general it appears it does. But this gentleman, who is Robert Wagner, made a reply to that and posted it on this website in saying that it's not all doom and gloom. Granted, the solar sunspots are limited or zero, and therefore the solar flux index is in the toilet. It's in the 60s. We need it in the hundreds, above 100 I mean. But he goes on to say there are other bands within the shortwave band that are still very active. And what he says is the low frequency part of the shortwave bands, 20 meters and up, which is 14 megahertz. Is that right? No, 7 megahertz. 7 megahertz, and when I say up, I mean down in the terms of megahertz. So it's like 2 megahertz to 7 megahertz is not too bad. So anything above that, though, is really difficult right now, except for there are exceptions, and I've always said that there's always exceptions, so you don't ever want to give up on shortwave. The other thing that's mentioned is the digital modes for the hams. And I did a show a couple weeks ago about how to set up a decoder using your SDR to decode these digital messages. Now, the one I showed you is just a short message like want to contact you or seek you or whatever. But there are other modes, many other modes, where you can actually type in text and communicate via text, and these software packages and your radio that is connected to these software packages. So anyway, let me see if it's still there. I keep bumping the camera, so I don't know if the camera's even, yeah, it's pointing.
诗篇
Yeah.
诗篇是圣经旧约里面的一本书。
诗篇第1篇。不从恶人的计谋，不占罪人的道路。
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Chinese or Korean or Japanese, one of those Oriental languages. And my S meter is pegged. So I don't know. This could be like, next door. They plop down a transmitter a half a mile from me. But the point of the article I mentioned, which is on swling.com, you have to look for it, and what I'm hearing right now, and also in the latest copy of Spectrum magazine, there was a similar article, I don't remember, maybe it was the same author, about you can still hear a lot of shortwave even though the solar flux index is in the toilet. And the article went on to say, right now with it low, there will be times when it'll pop up, such as the doctor, the solar weather doctor, has told us on occasion over the past 2 months that there's going to be a couple of days where the solar flux index will rise above 70, which is like, we want above 100, and we're glad to hear it's above 70. Well, I did listen to my shortwave radio when she told us to listen. This was about a week ago, and yeah, conditions were better. I was hearing stations that I hadn't heard in a long time. So my point is, yeah, if you only go with this status of the solar flux index and the number of sunspots and not listen to shortwave even when those numbers are low, then you're missing out. Because you never know what's going to happen on shortwave. All of a sudden it could pop up. Now, one thing other that was mentioned in this article on SWLING was that, as he said, shortwave conditions above, say, 7 megahertz are not going to be very good, except on occasion, which means the 10-meter band, which is what I want to get on, is going to be dead. It's going to be dormant. So I don't think I'm going to find much on 10 meters. But it's not that I'm still not listening and watching and checking and making, waiting for that moment that there's some change in the band conditions and all of a sudden 10 meters is open and working. I think that's about it. I did want to get outside with the most recent small little portable, less than $20 AM/FM shortwave multimedia radios, and try to demonstrate the effects of even just like a 20-foot piece of wire connected to the little tiny telescopic antenna on those radios will make a huge difference. I've been wanting to do that. I'm running out of time because it is finally, and I'm sad to see it come, it's finally warming up here in Florida. Now, when I say warming up here in Florida, we've been very lucky in that the temperatures have been in the 70s during the day in April, and normally they get up in the 80s in April and in the 90s in May. Well, it's May now, and the weatherman said they're going to be in the high 80s this coming week, and high humidity, which is the real stifler, is that high humidity. You go outside and you start tuning your radios, and within a few minutes your hands are all wet from the humidity, and you want to go back inside in the air conditioning. I think that about covers what I wanted to cover in this show. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed. I haven't checked lately, but about a week ago we were very, very close to 9,000 subscribers, and the 9,000 number has been kind of a wall I keep running into, because I get almost 9,000 and then some people drop out, and then it goes down below 9,000. So I haven't checked lately, but hopefully it's over 9,000, and will continue to get to that magic number for me of 10,000. And if you got any comments on things I can do, show, review, to make my shows more interesting so more people will subscribe, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can send a direct email to me at TRRS73@gmail.com. That's TRRS, Tom's Radio Room Show 73@gmail.com. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.